Welcome, everybody, to Sagas and Solace, The Whispering King, Episode 11.
Cities and communications.
Cities and Communications.
That's our third season title.
We've upgraded to titties and communications.
Cities and communications.
I see.
Have we? I don't think that's...
We're a collective of alphas here. So
Oh, is Laza a guy? Okay, never mind.
What?
A collective, you say?
is he?
He's not wearing a shirt, so...
Laza is a male, yes.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, there you go, then.
he's a fucking beta.
All right, bud.
Anyway.
Wow, okay, so who wants to give me the recap?
Oh, that's something we didn't discuss.
Oh yeah, there's a one time. I guess I could. Take it.
Everyone jump in at once.
Go Gruul, go Gruul, go Gruul.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while. Well, after we finished up our little encounter down in the pool, it seemed that Marlowe got his rock and then confused everybody else about it afterwards. But nonetheless, we were able to follow the pipes leading out of that large pool room that was able to show us the ways to open a mysterious force field within it containing many of the secrets and the Minotaurs we meet here today. But unfortunately, we have found that much of the history here shows that the temples themselves were attacked by the ancients, or some form of army being led by them, at least. And once we were able to show the Minotaur that we were friendly, he assisted us in combating the Mitharians that attacked, and unfortunately, now that the job is done, it seems he's not doing too well.
Alrighty, so where we will pick up on today's sesh is that the Minotaur has finally allowed himself to no longer be on guard, and you can see that the tiredness and unnatural long life that has been granted to him have very much been shown to take their toll. With his duty done, it is unlikely the Minotaur will last the night. Laza spends his time patting the Minotaur's massive, meaty hand, and is generally on the verge of tears. What do you guys do?
I think we should give him some space.
Can I attempt to do a medicine check to help alleviate any pain or discomfort he's feeling right now? With some medicines out of my kit?
Sure.
Oop, that is the wrong check.
I think Marlowe and I are investigating whatever may be remains of the Mitharians that we just fought.
Yeah, so Gruul will just pull out a jar of roots and just tell him to just start chewing on them, and it should start making him feel a little better.
Okay. And as for investigating the remains of the Mitharians as to anything that may or may not be left over, as you begin to look through the remnants of their corpses, to be clear, it almost seemed like their insides were liquefied through their armor. Pieces of the metal broken and twisted, although some things in their possession are recoverable. The first thing that you're able to recover is what appears to be a journal of some kind. A journal that you recognize, those of you with Marshall, as a scout's journal. Generally used to keep track of patrols and also used to report in to superiors. You also find that there is an assortment of wealth amongst them, approximating 150 gold pieces worth of loose change. Out of their weapons and armor, none seem to have survived the blast. But one thing did, and that is that one of them carries with them a strange pendant bearing all 3 marks of Mytheria intertwined together.
Would I recognize that?
Make me a religion check.
That's something I'm actually not good at.
You definitely know it represents one of the dormant chapters of the church. And seeming as how there aren't many of those, your mind generally falls upon the most process of elimination, the most likely culprit. That is the symbol of the Inquisition.
Black circle, shield and sword and eye.
That pendant look familiar to you?
Yeah, these probably a little fuzzy. Wasn't paying attention that day, but they're probably Inquisitors.
Well, here's a book on some tactics or something if you want to look at this as well.
Yes, that might tell us what they were here for, but if they're Inquisition, then they weren't here to ask questions or... my gosh,
Well, in one way or another, they knew that this place existed. Probably just couldn't get into it. Now, seeing as we've opened the door, they probably were notified in some way.
I hate the idea that they were just sitting somewhere watching. The Inquisition doesn't send people places without knowing that they're going to be able to get in and do their work. I doubt they were just sitting out there watching us.
They were seasoned magicians, wizards. They cast spells that would alert them to such things, I assume. I don't know the extent of how magic has been polluted by the faith of this land, but there are spells to do such a thing.
Well, I guess we'll have a look at the book and see if any of us can figure out what they were here for. It is very strange that who knew about this place? I mean, you barely knew. You knew that something was here.
Well, it's just across the river to the Pale City, so I don't see why they would know about this place. Then it probably leaves a peculiar hole on the map in terms of its exposure, or the ability to divine such a place. In Laza's notes, he mentioned that the ancients also were curious about why this place wasn't showing up. It was obscured from their vision. I don't know what this Inquisition is, but it seems that it would make sense for a sect of the church to investigate at the very least.
They're a hardcore sect. They investigate and don't leave a lot. They're a cleanup crew, as far as I know.
Pardon the question, but how exactly do you hide something that big from ancients or inquisitors?
I don't know much about hardcore sects.
What? Me neither. Why would you bring... Oh, you thought because... I'm gonna go look at this journal for a little bit. You guys have fun.
Should we divvy up this gold?
Yeah, probably. We're always short, and... better to be used for something useful. Ugh. Didn't see you there, Chrome. You are big.
So confused.
He heard somebody was looting bodies.
I'm the cameraman.
I'm the cameraman. Oh yeah, thank you, OP. He's the cameraman.
All right. And I'm gonna sit here and crack open this scout journal. See what we can find out.
Make me martial checks.
Nice.
All right, you're able to read through the ciphers pretty easily. you don't learn 100% of the information, but you are able to suss out some things. It seems that this journal is a patrol journal, as you suspected. And it seems that they have been in patrol, and that the most recent entry... Their most recent entries mark them as patrolling the lands adjacent to the Barrow King's lands, and that specifically, they were a forward scout. There have been rumors of the Risen rising within the east, and this is one of the several patrols that have been sent out by the Pale City in order to investigate the validity of these claims. In addition to that, it seems that the last line of the journal indicated that there was a large beacon of light bursting out from the swamp, and that they were going to investigate. It seems that this particular entry is dated to this very day.
Well, based on some of the code scribbling that I learned from the scout that was with the group that when we went to the Razor Cliffs originally, it looks like the church might be getting desperate. They're sending a lot of scouts out, and those guys were no joke. Those were Silver Guard. Those aren't common scouts. They're looking for something, and I think they're getting a little pushy about it. And I guess on today's date, something about a pillar of light.
I think Laza's crying. I don't know why, so we should probably go in this room.
Yeah, okay.
All right, just moving on.
Sorry, before you leave, was there anything about a pig?
I kind of skimmed through it some more. Was there anything about a pig? Do I recognize anything about a pig?
No.
No pigs. I guess breakfast must be doing a good job hiding or something.
I hope.
Hard to imagine how. Well.
Do you wish to go out and check on him?
Yes, I was gonna ask him if he has a way out that's easier than we came in.
We can go check on him quickly, bring him in. I believe these two should be able to take care of themselves in the meantime. Yes?
Yes, I was gonna ask if they knew easy way to get out.
Your questions fall upon Laza as he places the Minotaur's hand down to his side, and you will see that the great behemoth has ceased breathing. This creature's final moments have passed. Laza will rise up, a great sadness on his face, and he will do a small prayer, whispered to himself, and then he will turn to face you, Venethtir. Now is not the time for tears. Your question, there are other ways to escape the temple. I know of one such way. If you are ready to leave, I can show you.
Oh well, I have a companion that's outside. I cannot bring him in. I just worry for his well-being.
Ah. One moment. He will do something to this pillar, pressing in on certain points, and then twisting the stone here, and then he will turn back and say, "The way out should be untrapped now."
Oh. That's nice.
It is okay to grieve, Laza. But thank you for your help.
Indeed. There are a few things that I must gather. Archives and histories that I would hate to leave here to rot and to potentially be taken by the church. Curious it is. I had thought that the church was a dream I had, but it would seem that the seers have kept up their rituals. My mind is foggy with what is and what is not. I will need some time to decipher it.
Alrighty.
What is the name of this church, you said?
The Church of Mytheria.
I see.
Is there a place Cascatel would have wanted to be buried or laid to rest?
I am afraid that there is no rest for my dear companion. The amber has already done its work. Anywhere that we bury him will run the risk of infecting the land and poisoning its natural mana. We do not wish for this. Would it be that I would put him in one of the sarcophagi with one of his people? But if what I suspect is happening is true, we do not have a lot of time to linger. You there, you are a bard, yes?
Yes, correct.
And you are a servant of Ezekine?
I am.
Good. As a fellow brother of the Stone Father, I ask of you a boon. Please help me recover the archives and carry them free of this place.
I will do that.
And he will just walk off in this direction. And then he will go throughout each of the rooms, with you following behind him, I would presume, Marlowe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
gathering scrolls and books and tomes. You notice that he doesn't grab all of them. He grabs probably what the best copies of each are. He leaves copies of original works behind, as there is only so much weight one has. And eventually, as he travels throughout the entire labyrinth and the temple, he gathers up all the different pieces of scrolls, books, tomes, and even a few strange tapestries and rolls them up. This process takes about an hour or so. Would anyone else like to do anything during that time?
I'm wanting to inspect the amber on his body.
All
I was
right.
also going to move him into a more
Comfortable position.
more respectable position to lay him down at least, so that he's not just leaning up against the wall.
Okay.
Why would
Can't be-
this curse the ground?
Make me Arcana checks on his yellow blood.
Okie dokie. Me too.
What you notice is that the amber seems to react to the exposure in the air, causing it to sift and dilute, but not be dispelled. Almost as if the amber produces some kind of balance.
Huh. Well, in that case, I can see how that would mess with the land. But it actually sounds extraordinarily useful. I'm gonna have to learn more about amber from this guy.
I'll lay down the skull.
It's respectable.
Anything else you
No.
guys would like to do?
I hope you
Well-
were able to find some kind of peace, Cascatel.
The
And in the
chest
end, you
from
were
the,
able
oh, go ahead.
at the end, you were able to finish your duty with pride, with honor. If nothing more I can do for you is remember your name, I will.
Went down fighting. Any orc would be proud after that.
To answer your question, Venetir, about the chest, what was it?
I'll go retrieve the chest.
Okay.
Actually, I will pocket a single piece of, like, wall amber if there's a chunk or something around.
Okay.
Take that with me.
Hey, Telry.
Hmm.
You sure want to keep that symbol and not destroy it?
I wasn't gonna keep it. I was gonna leave it here with these. It still feels wrong to just. It's a mess.
I don't know what that means.
These guys that they had families, they had lives. Now they're splattered all over the place. What do we do?
Are you just now regretting assisting in their murder, essentially?
I'm not regretting. I'm respecting. They were doing their job, and we're doing ours, and we were better at ours. We made friends with a really big guy.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I just...
It's a suggestion. I don't know what that pendant can do, but I am familiar what holy symbols are capable of, to some extent.
Yeah,
So.
I wasn't intending to keep it. I know what it looks like. I'd recognize it elsewhere. But I was just gonna leave it here. You want to destroy it?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll drop the Inquisition amulet on the floor and turn my spear point down and give it a couple of good stab smashes.
Alright, you fucking destroy that. You murder it.
Good.
You got it. You broke it.
Can I like pocket the ancient axe? Yeah, because it's Hellhead.
You want to steal the Minotaur
Pocket.
warrior's weapons?
Yeah.
Telry glares.
Not stealing, just gonna repurpose it.
You are grave robbing. It's up to you. I mean, if you want to do it, I'm not going to stop you as the DM. I'm just telling you what you're doing.
Anybody want 150 gold from these guys?
I already did
I
it.
will ask.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got plenty
Yeah,
of
everybody
cash
gets
on
30 gold.
Laza if it's appropriate to repurpose his fallen friend.
Fair enough.
Laza is bereft with grief and doesn't really know how to respond to that. And will simply say, desperate times, I suppose.
And
You will
apologies,
live
he's
on. A soul lives within the weapon.
Despite Chrome's appearance, he is an honorable warrior and will honor the weapon and memory, as could tell. Although he is a bit on the materialistic side, I think it's purely pragmatic.
Very well. If you promise to wield it with honor.
I will. No worry.
The creature will nod and accept that.
Laza, I think this might be a good time for a more proper introduction to who we are exactly. 'Cause, I'm the only one here from Calcatesh. And although I've seen the past century of Calcatesh's history, and much of that has changed, times of heroes and enemies. But you are much older than that. You've missed quite a bit on not just Kalkatesh, but Corvanus as well.
I see.
The four of my companions here are, I guess we're friends at this point. They're native to this land. They seek answers, they seek, something else, I guess. I was brought here by Ezokine, taking steps, fulfilling tasks, and the last task I'd been given was to free you. That's about as far as I go. This nether charge is being given to me.
I have a lot to catch up on, and much that we must discuss.
While it would be great to learn whatever you know and catch up and get to know each other, maybe we want to leave before more of the Inquisition shows up, now that our buddy's not with us.
That sounds sound. Real quick, though, before we leave, are you familiar with the ley line directly underneath this building?
Indeed. It is what I suspect has drawn them here. This temple, amongst other things, was a conduit for the Hellenic energy designed by myself. It allowed for transitional energies to keep a line of communication between the Minotaur tribes. If it has been reactivated, no doubt, from the pulse that has awakened me, or perhaps even from some other form of interaction. My dreams give me a small glimpse as to what has happened whilst I was imprisoned in the Amber. But it seems that my sacrifice was for naught. I am terribly sorry. The energies in this place, they befuddle my mind. I do believe your small friend is correct. We should not linger.
We'll get some camp food in you.
Pardon me. That way is slower.
Oh. Yes, by all means, if you know a faster one.
He will linger for a moment at his fallen friend.
You died fighting what you believed in.
He will hold his hand up to the wall and press a few hidden buttons, and the wall will open up. With me.
Cool.
We must away.
Should we reactivate the traps as we are leaving?
There is no need. I have one final farewell for my friend. And with that, he will press a 3-pronged button and twist his entire hand in. And as you begin to leave the stone staircase behind leading to the surface, you will see that as you walk out, the temple was in fact bleeding light from the top of it into a large almost beam into the sky. That beam slowly flashes on and off and fades as the temple begins to sink into the water below.
Okay.
Huh. Yeah, we would have come running too.
And I will put you guys outside now.
Awesome.
One moment. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Hold on. I have to load a new map for you guys.
Hooray!
Ooh.
New map? Oh.
Map 1?
Map 1. Map 2. God.
Nara,
I do think it's very funny that people remember old memes like that. It's so funny.
I got you. Don't worry about it.
Knarh, back
Elusive
there,
map 3.
before I fell in the hole, I gave you a note with an address.
Yep. Still got it.
Okay. I didn't expect you might need it that soon, but if you ever do have to use it, just send a letter or something. Don't feel like you need to go and tell anybody. I don't want my mom wondering forever, you know?
All right. All right.
Did you take that note from the temple?
What? Which note?
The letter you're talking?
Oh no, I just handed Knarh my home address like early on before we got to the traps and stuff, before I fell down the hole.
Okay.
Well,
Oh no, you guys are loaded.
I am
More
loaded
swamp.
into a spiky swamp.
Spiky swamp.
All right, these aren't here.
Okay.
It was originally intended that you guys might be able to encounter this map on Halloween, but
Hey,
you know,
pumpkins. Never eaten none of those.
ignore those.
Delicious pumpkin, which I am definitely ignoring. Yes.
But
make
anyway,
a
you were
pie.
led further into the northern part of the swamp, a fair distance away from where you left the temple behind, before finally, Laza will take a moment to rest by a tree, and will state, "I believe this is far enough for now. If I could please ask for a moment. I just need a break."
Roll if you can do the getting in touch with your whatever, and
Yes, I will meditate.
thank you.
Make sure you find a pig. An undead pig.
Don't worry, there's few other things that give off the energies of a beast and an undead. It will be easy.
I'll be right over here. Keeping an eye out.
Damn, he's probably into astrology and shit.
Fair question, Chrome. Can you summon your pig?
No, I cannot. I tried when we were down there.
Unfortunate.
He's also an actual animal. Unlike well, you're familiar.
Yeah, Weeperwhack.
Whack, that's yeah.
Yeah. It's another name to learn, I know. Yes.
All right. In the distance, you hear.
Breakfast.
And then, barreling through the trees.
There you are.
There he is.
He will nuzzle Venethtir lovingly with his snout.
Pig's got a
Take
good
the
nose
black
on
dye
it.
off of him. Put it in my pocket. You can go play in the swamp now.
Starts rolling around in the mud.
Good to see we're all accounted for.
That was a close one. I would have known what I would have done.
All right. At this moment, that Laza begins to cast a spell on himself. Arcana, if you'd like to identify it.
I would love to identify this spell.
All right, with the 20, it is pretty strong magic. It's You think at first it might be a thought detection spell, but it seems to be more than that. He's casting it on himself. And he gets into a meditative stance.
Oh boy. Any sensing of the church out there, Gruul? Looks cautiously at spellcasting.
He's concentrating. Let him do his work.
After a few minutes pass, Gruul, there are only animals and your companions in the swamp.
I don't seem to be able to detect any church nearby.
All right, we're probably in a safe enough area then.
It's at this point that Laza's eyes will open. Once they were foggy, glistening with grief and confusion, and now brown, bright, and clear. He will stand up.
Oh.
Thank you, friends. I believe I am beginning to make sense of what has transpired. I am sure you have many questions. I will provide what information that I can.
You look a little better.
Thank you. Your concern for my well-being is compassionate. But the Stone Father, it seems, is not yet done with me. If you were sent here, Marlowe, there must be a reason. There must be a reason indeed.
I tend to not ask those kinds of questions. But I assume you're right.
It will take some time for me to decipher it. For whilst I dreamt within my amber prison, there were some flashes that I saw. Tell me, what has happened in this land since I have been imprisoned?
How long have you been imprisoned, exactly?
Let us presume since the beginning. Tell me all you know of Corvanus, and it will help me understand where I might be, chronologically speaking.
Well, history was actually one of my better subjects. Let's see. Okay, so there was one of the oldest things that anybody seems to remember is the demon incursion. And then there was the Unvanti too, but they're kind of foggy and nobody really knows a whole lot about them. And then the church was formed, right, by Matheria. Matheria led the church, and they sealed the demons in the demon wastes, and have supposedly kept the peace ever since.
Oh, good, it's not just me.
Listen, I said it in Mysterian history class, okay?
Laza will stroke his tentacle like a beard. So this Matheria, how long has she existed? This church?
What was it, was it 500 years?
500, 400 years, yeah.
500 years.
She's apparently the daughter of the Barrow King.
The once king of the Barrow King now.
Barrow King?
He's risen?
What lineage is this king?
His name is Alan Trueheart.
Trueheart, you say? How very interesting. Laza will stroke his trunk again. If the Truehearts and it will seem that he's come to a kind of realization about something. Did you say Aelin, Trueheart?
Yes.
How very interesting. For when I and the Minotaur tribes arrived upon this place, some ventured to follow us. Some sought to partake of this new land. The Ontvanti, and the spirits that which they served, did fight not only us, but these new colonists as well. These colonists were from Kalkatesh.
The place Marlowe's and you are from.
Indeed. And the Truehearts are a family of some renown and nobility. If they have made their way, how very interesting.
Are you telling me that the Unbound King and the Risen and the Unbound Court, they're
And
foreigners?
area.
Well, of course. Did you think that they were native?
Knarh just kind of sits down in the swamp.
I'm starting to think that nobody's native at this point. I could be told that halflings are not original to Corvinus, and I might have to just swallow that.
Well, I dare say
Don't-
they were not.
Dang. Okay.
Well,
Is there anybody who is
you do
native?
know the history of your people, do you not?
I
Can't say that I do.
I know the Metherian history of my people.
Well, the halflings in and of themselves are, well, they are a people that. Do you know of Tilt?
I know what the word means.
No.
And Telry will just kind of like tilt his head.
I do not mean the word. I am referring to the deity.
There's another one? I'm not surprised. Never mind. I'm just gonna sit here.
Most people on this continent only believe in the existence of Metheria. Spare a few who are privy to others, namely the gods of the knowledge domain.
It seemed one of the major actions of the church was to suppress knowledge of history over the last 500 years.
That is
They've done it.
that is completely unacceptable.
Well, they've
There
done
is
it really well.
there is no greater evil than ignorance.
I like this guy, Marlowe. We should keep him around. Good find.
You have much to learn, young halfling, about not only what you are or where you are from, but indeed, to continue on with what I was saying, this Trueheart is a noble family from Kalkatesh. And if they have come this far, I wonder what has become of their family ties to the east, to the far east, across the abyssal sea. He'll stroke his trunk once more. 500 years, you said, this Church of Metheria has existed.
I
And still strong.
And what do you know of the Trueheart family since then? Do they still exist?
Yeah,
In a manner of
we've
speaking.
spoken to him.
Indeed.
He's a few weeks' travel to the south of us as we speak,
I have
head of a
his
kingdom.
power flowing through me. Well,
Me and Venatir here, infused with the same energies, our lives changed the same way the Barrow King himself is.
Yes, I can see that you are rife with necromantic energy.
Knarh flinches at that.
A curious form. Curious form indeed. Well, if the Truehearts have discovered necromantic immortality, are any of them alive? The actual family, that is.
I believe his incent as well.
Incense, you see.
No,
Wait, saying the right
Set.
word.
everyone was risen.
Yes, everyone there but us. Well, most of us.
No, fortunately, we did not spend enough time getting to know everyone. But of the two we knew of true hearts, it was Aelin himself and
Atreus.
Atreus. Yes.
There's the one who killed them all.
There is more to it, of histories we've learned, that she also was one of the seven.
Be
And-
careful when you say these words. You speak of the seven?
He'll nod.
That solidifies it. The True Hearts were a noble family from Ord. And I believe they carry with them a barrister lineage. And now you say the seven are involved. How very curious indeed.
Sorry, I have to be careful when saying words now.
I think it's not that they're involved, but we're dealing with the remnants of their involvement. Would be a better way to put it.
I see. So it seems that at least one of my dreams was truth. And considering that you are standing before me, it seems they were successful. That is good. That is very good.
Who? Sorry, if I could have you clarify. Who's the they that you're speaking of and being successful?
Well, the seven, of course.
Oh, yeah, that was part of what I had mentioned that you had missed in your time away from Calcatesh.
We will need to know of the era of this. Tell me, what era is it?
It's the insert era here. What era is it?
Well, it should be the 5th, although it might be the 6th.
What? No.
What would I know it to
No.
be?
No, it's
How's it
Oh, no. Yeah, it should be the 6th, it might be the 7th.
there you go. Yeah.
Ah,
It is not the 5th era. To be clear, only really Marlowe will have even an idea of what the eras are, as eras are a imperial calendar verification.
yeah. I just give him like a Corvallis date. It's probably around here. We're getting close.
Well,
to my
the
birthday.
Corvallis also uses the imperial calendar, but they don't know that they use it. But only people with a awareness of what the imperial calendar is will be able to designate an era. But to answer the crux of the question, we are in the 7th era, to be clear.
Nifty.
Yeah.
Records, perhaps the 6th.
In that regard, Laza will...
A lot happened in a short amount of time.
Indeed. Laza will seem to lean back against the tree. 500 years. 500 years and this level of oppression? You said... Tell me more of this church.
Well, there is knowledge we've gained semi-firsthand. Some from the Barrow King, the father of this Matheria. Some from Matheria's doctrines and her propaganda. There is others from some record of her temple. Marlowe will hand over a copy of the Saga of Ascension.
Laza will take a look at it. This form of representation, this medium speaks to an oratoric, more primeval origin. Tell me, have you recited any of these sagas in their original oration?
No, I have not. I'm not much of an orator myself as a bard, more of a scribe.
Did you not read them to us?
I think he gave us more of Cliff Notes.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't read them verbatim.
No, I thought I was getting the whole thing. Bummer.
I mean, you could read it.
It's Marlowe for you.
Kick a frog into the water.
Yes. These sagas do bear hope. If Lord Ezekide sent you to me, it is most likely because he wishes to keep these particular pieces of antiquity safe. Safe for what is to come. There is much to explain. But first, this Barrow King, you say, lies to the south. Tell me, what has become of Aelin Trueheart?
He is undead risen. He seemed to have fashioned some kind of necromancy for himself and his people. He performs peculiar rituals, what I assume to be funneling mana out of the ancient druidic ley lines to sustain himself. He also has a crown attached to his hand. I don't know if it's purely symbolic or mechanical in some sense.
And
He seems like a good leader.
He
Seems like a swell guy to me.
He is beginning a war against the Metherians. His daughter, as we told you, became the figurehead of their church, as it speaks in the scrolls.
Laza will shake his head in frustration. Of course there is war. There's always be war.
Yep.
People do apparently become bored of peace.
How many sagas do you know of, Marlowe?
Know of quite a few. Have on hand quite a few as well.
And where have the Antvanti been during all this time? What do you know of them?
They're to the south, according to record. We've met one in the northeast by a city of undead Aldafife, I believe he's called. No. What was the Razor Cliffs town we were in?
Edgington.
Edgington.
Yeah, his name was Oppenpock. He's living at Advanti.
So they still live.
They seem to look at him in a negative light. I don't know if that's also shared, that viewpoint is shared by the church, but it seems that they're a lower class of citizen being treated as such.
Are they rare? Have you seen many?
No, just one. Even in the Bard's College, which I've spent most of my time here at, up at Mornhell, haven't seen any there.
I see. How very strange. We will need to...
There was something in that saga that I'd like your opinion on, if you don't mind.
Of course.
It speaks of Metheria walking amongst mortals again, as if she had been incarnated. Do you think that this is figurative or literal? What is your take on that?
If she is a daughter of a powerful necromancy, it might be possible that it is a hereditary spell, depending on which one from Kalkatesh, and depending on how deeply the sheet of Legion is inquired upon. It is possible.
I don't...
If...
Either way, it seems...
if such a thing is possible, or, excuse me, if such a thing is happening, that is most dire. But I find it most disturbing that the Antvanti seem to have disappeared from the site and the relevance to the people in Corvanus. When I came with the Minotaurs, they were the prevalent force. It was in fact against them directly that the Minotaurs and I fought.
Well, even the knowledge of the ancients is suppressed information that caught all of us by surprise. Myself, moderately well researched, as well as my companions here who are native to this land.
From what little we understand of it, it would appear that the rise of the demon incursion, as mentioned earlier, and Metheria's rise to godhood, the church used that momentum to push back against the other forces on the continent and gained much control, as well as killing and suppressing any magic-bearing individuals. Obviously, the Advanti being innately so.
Most notably druids.
This is most disturbing. So you know nothing of the Laughing Red, the Black Beast, the Soothing Lady, the Lone Hunter, not even the Whispering King?
Only
By name,
on
we know.
Yeah, only on a theoretical.
We were informed of them. And beyond that, little.
You speak of the Swen Gwensoul or the Wrath in Red?
Laza will kind of cross his arms. For them to have faded from memory, from relevance. Has Metheria destroyed them? I find that difficult to believe.
No, we learned from a being known as the Toad King, if you know of him. He told us that they slumber, but that the imbalance of the mana caused by the church's suppression of magic may wake them to, well, reset life on the continent.
Restart everything.
It is not balance. It is not balance that hold the ancients at bay. It was me. Or more specifically, the spell that I had wrought. This would explain everything. The convolence of the amber. The unnatural long life of my companions. The reason the Andvanti are not on every whispered lip is that my spell worked. But it also failed. It failed because of what is happening. This is most dire indeed. For if the balance put upon by my spell is broken, then the ancients will awaken. And that which slaughtered the Minotaurs, my friends, will come for us all.
Is there a way to do that spell again, better this time, maybe? Something to stop it?
I can already tell by feeling the magic in the earth. There is no mana here. It has been suppressed and contorted. I had hoped that my spell would not have such adverse effects. But it seems that with the Andvanti suppressed, a new kind of virulent, hypocritical religion has risen up in its place. I shouldn't say such things. I know nothing of it. But just from little you've told me, I must find out more. We must beseech the Stone Father for what he knows of the ancients. Perhaps that is why you have sent to awaken me.
In regards to Metheria, there is something of note. The sheer faith in her teachings, or the idealism of her, has brought about a godhood of sorts. Some believe that it is her that is this god, although she does not speak. The followers of the church cast arcane magics similar to Kalkateshi magic. However, they do so under the guise of being directed by her. This sheer faith has, from my understanding, brought about a genuine godhood. but perhaps with nobody at the throne, so to speak.
Are you suggesting that they have deified an empty space? An ideal without the decorum of personification?
Well, I think the
thing that
decorum
can
of
happen?
personification is just someone who no longer exists, or is an unnamed woman who is an incarnate of the person who used to exist. But yes, that's my current hypothesis.
An interesting theory. One that has a whole cavalcade of problems, but we must learn more, Marlowe. We must. The Stone Father would not have sent you without reason, and although my mind is muddled, and I feel that I am quite out of my time, chronologically speaking, I will not be idle. Tell me, where is it that you plan to go next?
Telry will glance over at Vinithtir.
I was tasked by Alan Trueheart, the Barrel King, to retrieve a bell across the lake and the Mausoleum Saints. I have to leave.
Marlowe will hand over a current map of Corvinus to Laza.
Laza will take a gander at it. You'll see that he almost immediately goes down to the south to look where the Anvanti Isles are. And you will see that the isles are quite nondescript. This is the most current map, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Looks pretty current.
Yes, this is a map of the ley lines as well in their current state.
As he takes a look at the map, he will frown. There's something wrong with this map.
Aye.
It seems that you've mislabeled something.
Well, we've only really
Yeah, how so?
traveled along the north.
Do you speak of the center of the map?
No. As he starts to kind of zoom in a little bit.
And pinches his fingers.
Yeah, he just pinches his fingers, zooms in on the map a little bit.
All right. What do you think we mislabeled?
Well, if I may, these are the isles where the Anvanti are from, but they are not the only.
Not the only islands?
Indeed.
Are there more islands to the south? Is that
There is another here. But you do not have it upon your map.
At this point, I'm no longer surprised, but never heard of it.
Another mystery. Was it important
Well,
to have it?
I would say that it is important, as each of the isles are dedicated to one of the great Anvanti spirits. The Soothing Lady, the Lone Hunter, the Black Beast, the Laughing Red, and of course, this one, as he'll point to the empty space, the Whispering King.
What's the Whispering King?
The strongest of all the Anvanti spirits. He is, as his title would suggest, the king of the Anvanti. Each of the different spirits hold different lineage over different aspects of humanity, of the Anvanti, or so it is said. The black beast of their feral nature, the laughing red of the power of their blood, the soothing lady, their compassion and wealth, and the lone hunter, their hunting ways, but the Whispering King was their lord of secrets and knowledge, the most powerful and feared of all the spirits. It is said that by his epitaph, the Whispering King brought madness to the enemies of the Anvanti. And I believe it is because of him that the ancients found the Minotaur's presence so offensive. I suspect because of the amber that we brought with us, a gift from my masters, they were unable to see us, and so they were sent to destroy us.
I thought that the laughing red was supposed to be the powerful one that would destroy the world when they all come back.
Perhaps, but he is not their leader. A sword still has a hand that wields it.
Great.
You're
Does not.
Sorry. Go ahead, please.
No, add it to the list.
Does this not sound eerily similar to Lock and High?
It sounds incredibly similar to that. But he's not just a spirit. And the last time we spoke to an Anvanti, he mentioned 4. Didn't he? Oppenpock hadn't mentioned a 5th.
Well, of course not. It wouldn't very well be a god of secrets if you told everyone about it.
Yeah.
Well, that probably explains why it's not on the map. This was copied from the map at the Bard's College. It's been accurate so far, but there's a god of secrets. Assuming that it is a separate entity, it understands this land, it makes sense that it wouldn't be on the map.
You mentioned Olakan High.
Yes.
How does... And then Laza will turn towards Telry. How does he know of Olakan High, Marlowe?
He's, I think an inadvertent servant.
Okay, so you guys will see Laza do a double take, like a sweet Jesus. Why didn't you open with that kind of take?
He has the mental faculties of about a 13-year-old child, and in the pursuit of knowledge was blessed and chosen by the dark truth.
As you guys are speaking about me, as I'm standing here right next to you, yes.
I'm just giving him the lowdown of your condition.
I hear both of you talking about how there's all these questions and how you can ask your god, and he'll probably send you walking across the entire continent to find the answers. Why not just ask him?
You presume that such a thing is possible. This land is rife with a fugue of unbelief.
He does it all the time.
Deities operate where their mortals have direct line. And I suspect the reason that you can speak to him is because you are infected in some way. The reason that the Black Pantheon are evil is they tend to not follow rules. Might I ask, dear halfling, what price you paid for that knowledge?
Well, the floor feels weird to stand on now. And also, I have a checklist of things to do that I don't think I can do. So I guess there's that.
I believe that you should not presume to elucidate that there is an equity between a deity that answers your questions and exacts a toll versus one that uses minor ways to show and shower their followers with wisdom without destroying them.
I told him mind, body, and soul, but he seemed to take that pretty well, so... yeah.
So, all right. Here's my thoughts on that. It sounds inefficient. There's stuff to be done, and there's things to be fixed, you know. And you yourself are looking for solutions. But what if you're too slow? What if it takes you too long to cross the continent and find the answers you need? You're full of answers, and Marlowe's been looking for them, and so have I. But we've literally been traveling across Corvinus for months. What if we're too late?
Months are not a long time.
It's been almost a year now.
And I only have so many of those. Mr. Live way too long and...
Laza will look at Marlowe. He will look at him and doesn't live as long as maybe a human. And doesn't understand why he's freaking out about a year.
You see, he has the mind of a 13-year-old, and his body will only last about 50 years or so. So it's a pretty miserable existence that he holds.
Laza will put off a strong, doesn't understand why this, what would I, short lifer is having such a problem.
It's just 15 minutes, 2-year-old. It's just 15 minutes.
I guess the best way to put it is, with the suppression of knowledge, magic, people's very lives being put upon the pyre just for cantrips, many have sought answers where anyone will give them, as being punished for just knowing them is a regular occurrence.
Considering people without control over it tend to summon demons and all kinds of horrible things.
I do not wish to be offensive, but Marlowe, I must insist. What is... Yes. Is there not a great risk in having a servant of Olakin High here whilst we discuss the penance and... Laza will start to sputter over himself. The things we are discussing... Perhaps we should not discuss in front of a servant of an evil god.
While you were...
I think that's a cue.
While you were asleep, I was very young. And I had fought alongside many different kinds of people when all of Calcatesh was called to fight. And some of those people were servants of Olakin High.
If you are referencing the battle against the great enemy, that is far different than what we are dealing with.
Well, I remember from there that differences can be put aside to find a common goal. And that in some sense, Olakin High, despite from what I believe to be an incorrect method of preserving knowledge, does preserve knowledge. And to me, that is probably the only definition of good. I trust the boy to exercise discretion, as he did in the temple. What he wants to do with his life and his land and his secrets and pursuit of whatever it is frankly none of my business. But we've traveled together for some time, and I believe we've made good strides to unraveling some of the history that has been lost to these people. So that is my position.
I appreciate that. But if you guys don't want me here, I'll just kind of...
If Ezekind saw the wisdom in you traveling with this servant of Olakin High, I will not question the Stone Father. And I meant no offense, halfling. I simply wish for you to pontificate upon the risks that you bring. In either case.
If I may ask, for the clarity and the opinion of yet another follower of Ezekine, what are you concerned about that I would do exactly?
Tell your deity what we are doing?
So far,
I believe he's well aware.
he's aware, and
I should very much hope not. Do you think for a moment that the dark truth would simply allow this, the history of this land to go untainted by his own hands, or tentacles, I suppose?
Well, I believe it already has been for quite some time, but that's a different matter.
Well, then even more concerned to have someone here so close.
If what you're suggesting is true, that potentially Alakanhai was already in control before you arrived, then you and the Minotaurs are the interlopers.
Laza will look at Telry with a surprisingly dangerous look.
Am I wrong?
If you refer to the refugees from tyranny as interlopers, then perhaps you are more far gone than I had originally supposed.
I would respect your perspective if you had developed a habit of coming from a place of thoughtfulness, but I think this is just semantics.
I get it.
You believe that the plight of the Minotaurs is semantics?
I believe that his opinion on the plight of the Minotaurs is semantics, as it comes out of nowhere. It doesn't really hold water to me.
I see. I do not wish to bicker. Truly, there are more important things than my feelings, and even the feelings and memory of my dear friends. But perhaps I am wrong. Perhaps my spell has hold. Perhaps the ancients have perished. There are too many questions yet unanswered.
One thing, Ezekine had spoken to me a few hundred days ago. It explained that the Alakanhai has his tentacles around this place, but the one to be truly worried about was Rune Theris.
Rune Theris? But why? Rune Theris and Ezekine may not agree on all things, but it is certainly a better agreement than Alakanhai.
I don't know. I didn't ask. I just understood.
How strange. Why would Ezekine warn us against Rune Theris? Laza will begin to stroke his tentacle again. Or excuse me, his trunk, not tentacle. Aha! It was I that was the traitor. No, okay.
Well, we've met one of his followers. Follower, perhaps. Maybe just by circumstance, a black dragon who has had taken refuge in the swamp.
A dragon? Have they also colonized Corvinus? From what I remember, when we first did our deliberations, we suspected that there were no dragons on Corvinus.
Yeah,
he was in exile for some reason. Yeah.
In exile? Interesting.
Concerned with, I guess, his own plight.
What did you speak with the dragon about? What did he say?
Spoke of the Feywild, mostly just thanking him for not eating us. I asked him a bit about dragonkind, He helped me understand a few things, Dragon Star and the Dragon Storm. Marlowe will glance at Gruul and then glance back.
You'll shrug.
We had a run-in with
I'm sorry, that was funny. He just looks over his shoulder. Continue. That's so funny to me.
We had a run-in with the Fae and had been given a ribbon for the Alice. Marlowe will point to the blue ribbon on his arm. He seemed very interested in that, using it to reclaim his position.
To remove him from his exile. He stated to remove his binds that hold him here.
Yeah, I didn't inquire further. Just still grateful that he didn't eat all of us. But if he was the only dragon on Corvinus, I wouldn't be surprised. They only live in myth in these lands.
What is the Alice? I am unfamiliar with that term.
There's a legend about the Feywild. In imbalance, in cycles, the Alice would rise and face the Jabberwock, much like the sun and moon, in eclipsing one another to reset the cycle.
I see. Yes, I remember my masters had spoken about something like that.
Much of it is buried deep within myth and fairy tale. Its existence was not much of a surprise, understanding that there must have been something to give rise to the fairy tale. However, I don't take it quite too seriously. But the dragons seem to.
Well, if I've learned anything from my masters, it is that even the most errant or mundane thing could have a grander thread attached to it. If only they were here now. They would know what to do.
In your journal that I read, spoke that you were one of the last of the Wavegate travelers. Well, what does that mean exactly? You don't mind telling us?
Oh, of course. Well, as you know, there are vast stretches of ocean that connect directly to the astral sea, in which the great leviathans devour those that would cross a rudimentary ship, or even attempt to fly across. It is to this pendant, however, that the wave gates were quite an ingenious invention, I dare say, that allowed for instantaneous travel across the abyssal oceans. Called the wave gate, for they are submerged quite far deep into water, and indeed can only be truly traversed at the very edge of the abyssal trenches that coincide with the continental shelves. And indeed, it is only by the penchant of the Leviathan of Calcatesh that we were even able to establish the first ones. Or that is at least what I was told by my masters. The wave gates, however, are costly to operate. And in the eras past, the mana has shifted, and unfortunately many of them lie dormant even to this day. The one that we use to transport the Minotaur race, in and of itself, had barely the energy to do so.
I can't imagine that's gotten any better over the years.
I do not know.
There was another thing that was brought to my attention by the Toad King, beyond the ancients. We spoke of the demon wastes, which you can see on the map. It's not small. But he also mentioned of another island to the northwest. Do you know of it?
What do you mean?
The moon-shaped island to the far northwest of here.
The white circle of flowing mana on the ley line map.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the actual island wasn't on the printed
Yeah,
map.
it wouldn't be on the map, but he would point to where it was.
Yeah.
It's not an artistic representation of a sun. It is a literal island.
Let me take a look. He takes a look. Do. Sorry, some of this shit I have to go into the Wayback Machine.
I'm gonna ask some big questions here, so it's best.
Just keep the file open.
I'll just keep vomiting on him.
Just keep vomiting.
It said
on-
that one of Matheria's companions of the colors, the blue, was building something over there.
Collecting
But
mana.
there's no
I
other
believe.
record.
He'll hold up.
It
He'll hold up
seems to
a
be out of
finger.
records.
He'll hold up a finger. A loading screen appears. Hold on a second. I'm
Listen
digging.
to this lovely anime music.
Telry just pouting in the corner still. Like, everyone just keeps fucking talking shit about me.
They're just being inefficient. That's all.
I'm Telry. Nobody tells me anything.
Yeah,
I have a god of could tell me anything in my brain.
he could. I could ask him anything.
Yeah, I've been trying to crack open his chest the longest time.
Wait, Telry's chest?
The
Yeah,
chest-
no,
yo,
no,
bro,
no.
I've been trying to open up his chest for the longest time. Hey,
Got
No, he
hag
means
starmer.
Is that a metaphor?
No, he means the chest we got
is
out
that
of the dungeon.
is that a metaphor?
Chrome's just like biting on this little wooden chest. Just gotta get that lock off.
Just with your
Just using Cascatel's axe as a fucking crowbar.
bar.
pry bar.
Yeah, that's the real reason I took it.
All right. As at this point, he'll kind of look a little closer, and then he'll say, I recognize these symbols. It can't be. But that doesn't make any sense. These... Hold on.
It-
Just hold on. I'm making sure it's right.
Okay.
Oh man, I love the deep dives, man.
Hey, I know about it. I'm gonna ask about it. It's been on my mind for so long.
Baza, do you know where we can find a Wendy's nearby?
Lock and High would know.
Oh, locking high ain't nothing but a
All right.
word.
No, only Burger
Howdy,
King
boy.
here. No Wendy's.
Ain't nothing but a heartbreak.
I like the little image though of Chrome just poking out from behind. Breakfast.
Baguette.
All right. He will state, this bears the symbols of Gel's Tahar. But
I don't know what that is.
Gel's Tahar, it is... Well, it's one of the cities of my masters.
Go
Is
on.
that on Calcatesh?
It is not. At least, not that you know of. Alright, time to make me the big history check. If you got inspiration, I'd use it.
I do not.
Let's see. I have not gotten to write anything since last.
I'll inspire mine though for 22.
Yeah.
Gel's Tahar, from what you know in the deep lore, is one of the places in Calcatesh that was in reference to one of the many isles that are found within the Astral Sea, although it is also said that it is in the ancient places of the Calcateshian coast. What you remember is that in the records it demonstrates that some of the heroes of the past ventured there, or at the very least, ventured to a place that is there. A place known as Ang Galash.
Oh, shit. Right.
And that's the first name I said.
All right.
But why would their symbology be here? In this place? Wait. Of course. That makes... Wait, no. You will see that he starts to get a little wobbly.
Do you need assistance?
I think he's cooking.
It is... We weren't the first. The humans that followed us, we were not the first. That means
You weren't the first to what?
the humans
Sorry,
that
I'm lost.
the humans that followed us to this land, we were not the first. There were humans here, the Antvanti. I thought that they were creations, or perhaps another tribe that had crossed, but no. If this symbology is correct, then the Antvanti are... They're Vega.
And what's a Vega?
Oh.
Why don't you ask your god, Telry?
I mean, since I'm getting answers for free, I'm just enjoying.
Do you think this has anything to do with one of the seven going there and collecting mana?
Can I history check that Vega?
Yep. Another big one. If you got the juice, spend it.
Yeah, I'll drop it. Oh, 20.
The Vegans. The Vegans are considered to be one of the progenitor human variants. More specifically, they are the humans created by the Cyclops. Or not necessarily created, but stolen. Depending on which of the accounts that you read defines how you would view that. The most that you know, however, is that humanity was called upon to defend the Cyclops. And they were taken through time. Which is why, in some of the continents of Verum, even though humans were originally created by Dragonkind in their war against the elves, that they have appeared in other places. And this island that lies far to the northwest, this Isle of Mana, has far greater significance than originally suspected. For it seems that Laza explains that it bears the symbols of his masters, the Cyclops. And by Laza's description, is perhaps the original point at which humanity made their way to Corvanus. Sorry, I know that many of you have no idea how any of this is significant, but there's like the 12 people that are still in the community that have been here long enough to know how crazy that is.
No, I know who the
Was,
Cyclops are.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Is like would Derek Dranf be a renowned name after the?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. Cool.
he's probably one of the only vegans that people would know by name.
Honestly, yes. I'm churning wheels right now.
Is this of concern to you?
It is not so much a concern as a revelation. It is true that my masters operate in strange ways. Their view of time is different from ours. It allows them to shift, to see, and to know, both past, present, and future. For to them, time is a circle.
Perhaps there might be some need for concern, though. When I spoke to the Toad King, who gave me the enlightenment of this, he spoke that the island was glowing, I'm assuming with the mana being collected by one of the 7 there. That it was, he'll start pointing to the demon waste, far greater than the darkness held within the very demon incursion. Whatever this power is, it's immense.
Well, of course it would be. It is the power of the seers. The gift of the Cyclops. Their burden to see the tapestry of fate and to what the future might hold. It is said that whomever bears the seer's sight that is not Cyclopean carries with them a fractured eye. Have you seen anyone with that?
One such.
And who is that?
A follower of of the Gambler Black, I believe it was named. Let me get his name specifically.
Like David Tran.
I believe. Oh, I think I wrote that in notes. I didn't put that in my other notes.
It was Devin Tran, yeah.
Yeah. Devin Tran, as servant of the Gambler Black.
I am unfamiliar with that name.
He's a patron. Known in Calcutta.
Ah, of Baba Yaga, no doubt. I believe this is the key. If the isle to the northwest is a remnant of the Cyclopean Isles, or perhaps even a staging point for which the Vagans were sent on their great excursion, if the Envanti were originally Vagan, then perhaps there is hope.
Hope for what, exactly?
Of reconciliation.
Between who?
The ancients. They have been gone and irrelevant from history's eyes. The only explanation is that they must have been removed somehow. I had thought that my magic would be what would have done it. But perhaps I was wrong. Perhaps my magic did something else.
Well, the Fae said that they were sleeping. Perhaps they've just been asleep.
Sealed, perhaps?
And then that means my magic is fading. And if it is fading, then they are awakening. But the Envanti have continued to live while they slumber. No doubt they have been lost, sojourned into their isles, while this religion has become a virulent stay across the continent.
You keep bringing up your magics. What did you do?
I used the power of amber to silence them.
What do you mean by silence them? Took their voice, or?
No, it is no mere... it is difficult to explain. I will try to do so. There are many different powers that exist. Colors that shift in and out. There are also amongst them materials that are associated with this color. The one that I wielded is called amber. It carries with it a peculiar property. Time. More specifically, the ability to hide from it. To lock oneself into a stasis and the magic therein. It can be used as a prison. It can be used to ward off the death of a short life. And it can be used to lock those entities without corporeal forms into a single moment. This is what I did to save the Minotaurs. Although I suspect I failed them.
So
Well,
what
we're
you're
here
telling
now.
me is you did that on a very big scale.
Yes,
Great. Well, the more you know
You,
when a rock isn't just a rock.
You familiar with an amber seer?
yes.
In-
Amber seers are those that are able to use the amber to see the time stored within it. Sort of like a memory jar, if you will.
Chrome and I had an interaction with one of them at the center of the ley line.
Center of the ley
Beneath
line.
Yeah, we jumped in. Well, I did, and he followed.
If you jumped into a ley line, you walked in the mana. An amber seer. He'll begin to stroke his trunk. It would make sense, for that is the path to the ancients, to where their temples are stored. They are placed within the earth, within the very lifeblood of Corvinus. It is here in these Leylenic representations that they live and conspire. Perhaps by touching the amber, you were able to speak with another seer. One that could see. Did they say anything to you?
She kept begging questions. She was excruciatingly difficult to talk to. Claimed to speak, begging for questions so that she may speak on behalf of Ezekine. Frankly, I was having none of that, but she did mention that we should speak to her in a more direct approach by finding her past a gate, which if she's in an underground temple somewhere would make sense.
Laza will stroke his trunk, and then he'll say, "Perhaps this is what Ezekine wishes of us. Woman begging you for questions. He sent you to free me, and in that very ley line you saw the seer. It is too much
Yeah, it
coincidence.
checks out.
It is too much coincidence to be ignored, Marlowe. The Stone Father is speaking to us. We must go to this temple that the seer spoke of. We must see. We must learn what the Forge Father wishes for us to learn.
Don't take this the wrong way.
Press Y to accept this quest.
Unless he
Why?
tells me directly, I will defer to my companions. I'd come to the temple to finish the task he had given me, and this land as well. And there's a tale being told. It is one I intend to keep record of. It is of the people around us, the coincidences in this land, the mysteries and all of that. Unless I am directed, I'm afraid I cannot accept.
But you said that she begged you to ask of her questions.
She did, yeah.
In service to Ezekine.
No, on behalf of Ezekine.
Well, yes. Why did you not ask?
Well, she was an Ezekine, and if she's to speak for him, I am not going to listen to her. It's like Telry saying that he speaks on behalf of Alok and High. I wouldn't listen to him.
Ezekine is a subtle deity. You know this. I believe it is where we must go. Would you not come with me?
Where would this be taking us?
I truly do not know for sure, but more research will need to be done. We do not have to leave immediately, I'm not saying that. But there is a reason that Lord Ezekine has saw to it that Marlowe would release me. I have watched the last of my friends die. I have buried them beneath the swamp. There is a reason I am awake. And it is true, I do not know for certain exactly what it is, but I will not see the ancient enemy of my friends be awakened to wreak havoc upon this place. I will not see my failure cause pain to others. Perhaps you do not have the compassion that I do, Marlowe, and I will not judge you for it. But perhaps you will see the wisdom in its action.
Perhaps. I definitely do believe that I do not have the compassion that you have. However, I will follow my companions in their journey. I will take record of their story, and then I will leave. That is of my own accordance. If I'm called to do something else by Ezekine himself, then I will drop what I'm doing and I will see to it that it is executed, as I have done my whole life. But until then, I will continue the charge that I have given myself.
I understand. You are a bard, after all. Speaking of which, he'll lean in conspiratorially. What did you think of my writing? The Minotaurs always just praised me, but truly, I would like a fellow artist's opinion.
Marlowe will raise an eyebrow at that. Certainly got the information across. It was a good record.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nod. Nerd sounds. Staring. You there, Luke? Are you muted?
Yeah, no, Marlowe is standing there, dead silent.
Just looking at him? Okay. Seeing as how you're saying nothing else. Ah, good. I was going for informative. Well, in either case, apologies. I'm very delighted that someone has read my transcripts. It would be a shame for all of that to be wasted. I will venture with you and your companions, at least till I am sure of Ezekind's direction. If you will have me, of course.
I don't see why not. Is everybody in agreement?
A sex to fill your character slot.
We should have enough rations, seeing as I don't need to eat mine anymore.
Yeah. That.
Alright. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah, you can join the party. We're all set.
Alright. A pop-up on your screen appears. Lazo Trollakaramamon has joined the fucking party.
Wow.
Marlowe checks the box in the middle that says somewhat agree.
Somewhat agree.
I guess I will warn you, as stated, we are going to be assaulting one of the church's locations at some point. Crossing the waters will be perilous.
Well, I have ways to avoid danger.
That's good. We'll ask nothing more of you.
Hey, Chrome.
Oh,
What was it you had to do?
I have to retrieve a bell over by the Mausoleum of Saints.
Sorry.
Mausoleums of Saints.
I like to imagine he's reading like a small piece of paper.
He wrote it
written
down.
there.
Yes.
The Mausoleum of Saints.
It is actually on paper. The Baroque gave it to me.
Here's my quest log.
Do you guys want to go get a bell?
Ooh, that
from
was
the
a good
mausoleum?
one.
Yeah, that's
I have to head north,
The bell.
find a fishing village.
Yeah, I think that was the goal.
Perhaps when we return to the Barrow King, you can get someone's opinion who was there during when all of this went down.
Perhaps Baroque himself.
But the mausoleum first, right? That's
course.
Yes. I cannot go back empty-handed.
We made our promise. We'll follow through on it.
Alright.
Holy shit, Barrow King, what the fuck?
Pleasure having you aboard. It is gonna take me quite a bit of time to learn your name. I'm sorry.
Would you like to look at my spell list? Okay, anyway.
My eyes. Wait a second, maybe.
I tried to rip open the chest.
But,
Oh.
Speaking of which,
Yes?
I was gonna ask, Knarh, could you teach me your Find Familiar spell?
Oh.
Not teach me, but write it down for me, the formulation.
Don't worry, I'm interested in your spells. Anyway, I might be able to help. What kind of magic do you do again?
Fucking nerd. I'll be right back.
I do
Go to the bathroom.
rocks.
I
do
do
rock.
I do rock.
You do rock.
gonna summon
So
up
that
that rock.
would be an
arcane.
athletics type spell, yes?
I do arcane.
Oh, you do arcane?
Yeah.
Sweet. How do I give this to you? Do I show you?
I think we just sit down for like a day
while.
to talk about.
Proceeds to ritual cast Find Familiar to show you how it's done.
Holy shit!
Look at how it's
Damn.
done, boy. Don't worry, I can get rid of some of this magic with mending armor and stuff.
Ooh, speaking of, actually, there's this dent right in the middle of my breastplate. I couldn't quite get it out.
Wing.
Yes. Excellent.
Too quiet. Yeah,
Can
no.
I do that?
What, ending? Mine actually reduces
Holy
my
shit! I'm
exposure.
glowing.
That's not what we want, though.
Bro, did you see that? I went Super Saiyan.
Mine actively reduces
Oh, your tattoos lit up and
exposure
everything, bro. It was
nowadays.
so cool.
Check this out. Ugh.
That's
Just hit
pretty cool.
lava.
Excellent.
Hey, check out my axe! Boom!
Check it.
I can only carry one. I'm
Dude,
not-
check out my dick.
Chromecast axe.
One day he will be able to wield them.
So, Chrome, have you gotten that chest open yet?
Try
your teeth. Or that axe.
Laza will just cast a spell and open it for you.
Casts a spell, open chest. Hey, can you teach me that?
Inside the chest, you find 100 amber coins.
What are amber coins?
They're coins made of amber.
They're a part of the 750 coins you owe me.
How about this? Do you think those are actually worthwhile currency at all?
I mean, they're made out of a mystical substance of time.
Tell you what.
50
So, you know,
I
at
was
least a gold apiece, you know?
The reason it's
Like-
valuable is not because it's a currency. The reason it's valuable is because they can be melted down for a stock of amber.
I will pay you 100 gold for it on the spot.
You owe me 750 gold.
We can hold on to it for now. We don't have any use for it. Find out how much it's worth. Praise, who knows?
It's quite heavy. You guys can't carry it.
I have a lot of strength.
Well, breakfast
It's 200
is carrying all our
pounds.
food anyway. So
It's 200 pounds.
The chest and whatever inside of it was 200 pounds.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, never mind. Can I have one of them?
Sure. You can have
I
one
can.
emperor coin. You want one too?
He's like,
Ready
"Okay,
for it.
Are you handing out pieces of candy right now to
Sure,
the kids?
you can have
Um,
one too.
sidle up to
Have a gold.
Lover.
Throw
Hey,
your gold.
would having one of those coins on one's person be of any use towards not being noticed? I guess.
Don't lose that, please.
Unlikely.
Okay, never mind then.
No, but it could be useful for stuff later.
And you can hold on to it. I don't have much talent with such things.
What does the property of amber holds besides time?
A whole lot of fucking shit that you can't identify.
was
You're gonna need like a master. Oh, sorry.
I was speaking to the amber wizard.
I'm sorry.
He said
OP.
back to you a whole lot of shit, bro.
Of course I don't know.
I'm
He thought
sorry.
he was talking to me.
I'm
That's
sorry.
the
I'm-
Get
reason he's like,
rickety wrecked.
I'm sorry. I thought he was legitimately asking me. I'm sorry, OP.
You're good.
He was just like, I like how he was like, I was asking. I like the way he said that. Oh God, I hope you play a sassified character one day, man. Oh man, that was so funny. Laza will state, well, I'm no smith, but I know that it has properties to protect one from baleful magics and from detection, as well as chrono magic.
What's
You
chrono
think-
magic?
Magic that deals with time.
Oh,
You think you could teach me some stuff on our journey?
Well, of course. I am quite a passionate wizard.
I'm an unlearned sorceress,
Well,
but I try my best.
sure, I could show you all sorts of things. Shall we continue with our journey?
Yep.
Why, yes.
Let's go.
Hooray! Okay. All right.
I'm gonna take the Find Familiar spell and kind of fuck with it on paper and try to work with the tattoo.
Okay.
What your You trying to make a tattoo familiar?
No, I'm trying to alter the spell. Put it on a tattoo so I could use it.
Oh.
So
you know,
what's
my good rock throwing hand?
what's our plan for getting across?
Okay, so I've got some things to tell you. Now we're going above board. Real quick, I hope you guys enjoyed that lore dump.
Yeah.
That was like going down memory lane for me, so I hope you guys had a good time.
Frantically writing everything down.
I finally got to ask questions without getting yelled at.
Especially you, lore boys.
Every other episode, I swear, we have to sit here learned.
No, I'm sorry.
It's great.
Fuck.
It's awesome.
Would you rather be going to cities, making communication?
Look, I have already successfully done such things. You can stop acting like I'm not. You know, we have done the communications. We have done the cities. All right.
Man, sounds like a guy who started communicating in cities.
We're turning to New Leaf, Gruul. We're going to get titties and communication.
We're gonna go get. You guys want to meet my
We
wife?
are doing nothing of the sort.
Okay, so I have good news. You guys have a pretty powerful wizard with you.
That is good news.
So
Maybe.
Laza can do a lot of things. First, he can help you with overland travel. I guess the first question is how would you like to approach the Mausoleum of Saints? You can do so with no magical aid from Laza, which is the which is the highest chance of avoiding detection, or for the sake of speed, you can use magically enhanced travel to fucking get there. What would you like to do?
Well, we're not subtle.
I think we do go subtle in this regard.
At least for travel.
Well, yeah.
Every time we've tried subtle, I've heard the story of how that party went.
Well, I mean, we're already glowing pretty heavily with exposure. How much more?
Talking about the
obvious
Eyes
would
Wide
this
Shut party?
Make us.
Yeah. The crone came out of that with a box with a woman in it.
Yeah, no, it was fucking sick.
Oh, yeah.
You guys
Some
remember
alpha
that?
shit.
You guys remember that? That was
Yeah,
crazy.
if you're like right next to me and ate someone.
And also the time we did the heist in what's his face's house, the bard. That was
Yeah, but we stealthed that.
We attempted to be subtle. That was luck. Sheer halfling luck because I got the keys while sitting under a piano while the guy was playing a sad tune.
We merely manipulated the strings of the emotional tension of that household and left
Hey,
like bandits.
You almost certainly got that lady executed.
Wait, I haven't heard of this part.
He
Anyway.
blamed her for everything.
All right.
My vote is still subtle.
So for subtle,
Mainly because they saw the beam and they already sent out a scouting party, and if they don't hear back in like a week, they'll probably send out more parties.
well, if we're fast, maybe we'll miss them, and half of everybody important will be on this side of the water by the time we get there.
Well, we know
Should
there's an
ask.
inquisitor in the area, someone who's specialized in tracking down apostates such as us. So I would say caution for travel might be the best option, if nothing else than not to attract the inquisitor.
I would have to ask, what does the time difference make it when we go mundane versus all-out magic?
It will take you about 2 weeks to get to the Mausoleum of Saints if you do it unmagically. If you do it magically, you will get there in 4 days.
I think we go the mundane route. What do you guys think?
We do have the surplus of rations specifically for traveling.
Yeah. The Barrow King didn't suggest we get there magically. He suggested we find a boat, so
Yes.
there's
Yeah.
some of his wisdom in
Maybe
there as
that's
well.
because we didn't have that type of magic on us.
Yeah, the Barrow King didn't know we
Well,
were
he
gonna
didn't know
find a
that.
speedboat wizard.
Right, what do you mean he didn't give you magic? He handed you a gold bar. I think, trust me, you can do some real magic with that.
You don't know about that.
I was right next to you. What do you mean I don't know about that?
Oh, you have a gold bar?
Bro, stop!
That's great, Adam.
Bro, stop. Shut the fuck up.
I gave you an emerald coin. That should be good enough.
Dude, he
Hey, give me the whole box.
He
Give me the whole
just-
box and we're square.
Dude, he just fucking threw you under the bus.
You got cookies over there? I
I
like
want the acorns.
Marlowe's like, you owe me $750, 50 gold. Oh, this is all the money, this is all the coins I have. It's like, you have like a gold bar. Dude, shut up.
No, don't worry. The gold bar's for work. You know.
He's like, you don't know about that. I was standing right next to you.
Look, if you guys are uncomfortable with the magic fast approach, so we can be in and out, I'll travel the slow way. But ugh.
There's enough room.
The fuck does that mean? What is
breakfast for you to
ugh?
Ride with Chrome.
Ugh, it's a lot of traveling.
You've spent 280 days walking.
You guys are the most boring fireside sitters. Nobody tells stories. Nobody does nothing interesting. You guys eat and then you sleep.
I know many stories, Laza will pipe up.
Why are you
Ooh, wait, no, I've changed
getting
my
bitchy
mind.
all of a sudden?
No, I've changed my mind. He has, yeah, okay, yep, 2 weeks. How many stories do you know?
I'm an archivist.
He's been alive for 500
He's
plus
losing his
years.
fucking mind.
Nice.
Wait, I enjoy his war songs. What's wrong with his war songs?
The war songs aren't stories.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they kind of are, but it's different.
It's because Marlowe says them accurately and with zero pizzazz. That's why. He's the dad reading the kids to
I'm a
sleep
bard.
that doesn't do any fucking voices.
No voices.
I'm a bard.
Alright.
That's what I do.
One condition, Chrome, may I ride breakfast on our way there?
That's fine.
Awesome. All right. all
Hog
set.
rider.
I'm good. I'm good for the slow way.
Hey, you're knowledgeable about Pale City things. What is the Mausoleum of the Saints like?
Religion
Good question. Do I need a history on that?
History, yep.
Okay.
It's a rich graveyard.
Is this a?
That's
is this
exactly
a
correct. It's a rich graveyard.
Rich graveyard.
What he just said, yeah.
Okay.
They keep.
All right, no, there's
fancy things there.
there's common knowledge you would have. So, the Mausoleum of Saints is a special graveyard that, yes, rich people are buried there because they're able to buy their way in through tithes and charity. But the reason it's called the Mausoleum of Saints is it is the place where they bury their most sainted figures of their historical past. And if somebody is considered a saint in Mytheria, which is a very prestigious position, they are buried at the mausoleum to honor Mytheria's name. And it is because of that that the Mausoleum of Saints is guarded by very powerful Mytherian followers, priests, all sorts of things. Specifically, the Saint Guard. The Saint Guard being specialized guardians who protect from things like necromancy and other forms of defilement. So, get ready for a fucking fight.
Oh. That's not great.
Yeah, we have.
That sounds terrible.
So
If you get caught, of course.
yeah, if we get caught, it would be very bad.
You never heard Bell.
Why do we have to get this bell again?
We were specifically not.
Is Kraig
No,
talking to
wasn't.
us? Okay, yeah, I was about to say.
There wasn't.
No, that was my bad. I had my mic in the wrong place.
Yeah,
new
there
mic.
wasn't much detail the Barokin could give, in case that we get captured and tortured for information.
Correct.
Good. Good for him.
It's a powerful artifact for him.
Do you know what it looks like, where it's stored?
Yes, it's the bell. I have it has some writings on it on this piece of paper.
Okay.
It should be just matched at.
He has a dossier of information, yes.
Okay. Well, you want to find a fishing village, charter a boat. So
Maybe a smuggler might be your best bet.
Can I see that dossier for a second? Could I roll another history check to see if I know anything about this bell?
Sure.
Okay. Just a regular one?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, dang it. They're so terrible today.
LOL bell, LOL ring.
Yep, that's a bell, all right.
But
Ding,
you
ding,
do,
ding.
but you do recognize what it probably is.
Oh?
It's probably a possession of a saint,
Ah.
which is most likely buried in that saint's mausoleum.
Nice.
that's good.
So we need to find a way into their crypt.
Yeah. Which is a
Without
lot better
getting
than
killed.
scaling the side of a massive mausoleum and taking a bell off the roof.
Yes, to be clear, the bell's not a, church tower bell. It is a handheld
I thought
bell.
it was a church tower bell.
No. It is a handheld bell. It is not a church tower.
Find the spire
mission.
and rob them of a bell. What?
Going full hunchback over here.
I was ready to be surrounded by rats.
Barrels of Notre
Are we traveling without no magic?
Although, Laza, once we get there, are you able to assist us with more subtly entering the mausoleum?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
with
Oh,
the-
yes, I have many spells that might assist. You'll get special spell options when you go into it.
Sweet.
Nice.
Are you aware of the Metherians' practices with non-church mages?
Could you elaborate?
It's very barbaric. They burn people on the pyre, kill them,
Yeah.
put collars on them that stop them from reaching a certain level of exposure.
Oh,
So don't get caught.
could you explain that to
prioritize
me
it.
in more detail as we travel?
Absolutely.
All right.
This is what I learned from the Bard's College.
All right, so you guys want to try and find a fishing village and charter a boat?
Yep.
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 I give Chrome permission to use the gold bar.
God damn it. He knows about it now.
That's okay.
Fuck. Dude, I love the back and forth that Gruul and Chrome have, dude. It's so funny to me. Would you like to know about our secret staff? Shut up! Alright. Well, with Laza's help, you guys find a fishing village. You're able to just buy a small boat for 100 gold.
How much is the gold bar worth? It's like 200, right?
No, the gold bar is worth like 500 gold.
Oh, alright.
I mean, I have separate gold pieces. You guys keep buying me stuff. I'm buying the boat.
Yeah.
Very kind.
100 gold, easy, done. So 358 left.
All right. And with that small boat, I have a question. Does anybody here know how to sail?
No.
Okay.
No.
I've read about it.
No.
thankfully, Laza does,
Oh, good.
as he did quite a bit of sailing across the Abyssal Ocean. And with that, and also his impressive magical capabilities, I basically only have to roll for really bad shit.
69. 9.
O's.
Okay. Oh my god. Stop with the 70.
Oh.
Okay. Actually, you get to avoid that encounter. Because you have a high enough level wizard that can tell you that do not speak to sirens. Good!
Oh, great.
But, dude, she was so hot, though.
I mean, we shouldn't be rude.
I think
Right?
the vampire was better.
We don't exactly have a good history with sirens.
I liked the dryad who could sing.
Okay.
Oh,
She
with
was
women.
nice. That looks like a water dryad.
Alrighty. Questions. Who wants to learn spells?
Yes.
I do.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Who can actually cast spells? Who would like to learn spells?
I'd like to work on the tattoo for Find Familiar.
Okay.
But other than that, no new spells.
You sure?
Does he know rock spells though?
Does he?
I know every
spell
rock
that I can
spell
learn?
level 3 to fucking 0, dude. Don't even fucking try me. I swear to God.
What about custom rock spells?
Alright.
If he knows,
Wait, does he know
spells that I
custom
can
rock
learn.
spell?
He knows Cyclopean spells, yes.
I will raise my hand.
Would you not like the second level spell Seer Stone?
Yeah, I would. I don't know what it does, but it says stone, and I feel I have feelings about that.
I have no idea what this is. Ooh.
Hold on.
You can open
Maybe
doors from 10 feet away.
maybe I was a
Yeah.
bit harsh. Alright.
Wow.
It's a rock.
It's a rock. He also has stone skin. Would you like to learn stone skin?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me go through
Now your
these.
solo sessions will be that much more immersive.
He is a abjurer and transmutist, so hold on, I have to fucking filter out this shit. Make sure he gets the right spells.
No idea what that
See, this is why we ask questions, Marlowe. Of not.
I
have
thought
all
I knew
rock.
all the rock spells.
This is why we ask.
Guys, I told you, I know all the rock spells. Fuck! Give it to me now!
Give me the bless spell. Tattoo.
Okay, he has cantrips. He has Blade Ward. Anybody want to learn Blade Ward? No? Okay.
That's not one I could learn, right?
It's a cantrip. As a paladin, you can only learn one, though, if you have Mana Knight.
Which I don't, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. First level spells. He has Absorb Elements. Would anyone like to learn that one?
Let's take a look here. Absorb element.
I think it would fit you pretty well.
Honest? Yeah, that actually would be kind of nice.
Doesn't have rock in the name. Marlowe doesn't want it.
I'll take absorb elements.
Nah. I mean, it's good to have, but it doesn't tickle my fancy, you know? Fuck it.
You know, every once in a while, I'll see somebody from the old days type in chat, like Twitch chat, and it makes me happy.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, next up we have is he has the Catapult spell.
Ooh. That one's fun.
You can throw rocks with force now.
You
Well.
can throw anything with force.
Like, I already throw them. I throw them better than catapult.
Oh, okay.
Amateur shit out my face.
Okay.
Actually, no,
I am
that's
the
a good point.
catapult.
If I want to throw a big rock, Is there what's the size limitation on catapult? Can you throw like a human head size rock?
Choose one object weighing 1 to 5 pounds.
Oh.
It's a 5-pound rock that does 3d8.
Is that a level 1 spell?
Yeah, it's a first level spell. It can be upcast, increasing it by 5 pounds for each one.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take catapult.
Yeah, it does pretty good damage. Plus, you can use like alchemist fires and cool shit like that if you wanted.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because there are other rocks I could throw that aren't mundane rocks.
You can throw me.
You're too heavy.
You are not an object.
You can throw your helmet.
My helmet's magical.
Let's see. He has long strider, mage armor. He has. I'm just gonna go through these. Tell me if you just write down the ones you want.
Okay.
He has alter self, arcane lock, earthbind. He has levitate, Maximilian's earthen grasp. He has spider climb. He has counterspell, dispel magic, fly, intellect fortress, remove curse, and he has slow.
Like, some of those are out of my spellcasting range.
Some of those are 3rd level spells, yes. Alright, and now for the Cyclopean spells that I think will be of interest to you. There is Seer's Stone, which is a 2nd level spell.
I'm taking it.
Yeah. There is... There is Time Stitch, which is a 1st level reaction healing spell that you might like. It's a Cyclopean spell. And there's... Yeah, you can't reach into these other ones. Those will do.
I'll take both of those if I can.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll take Absorb Element, Mage Armor, and Time Stitch.
Hey, Laza, would you like to see my my wall of sand spell?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll show him wall of sand like I'm showing him a fucking shiny Charizard.
Oh no.
Sweet Jesus, man. This thing wants bad stuff to happen to you. Oh my god. Oh no. Okay, fuck. Ugh.
Are we okay?
Jeez.
For now.
Even with all these bonuses.
The fair question is, are we okay? I think we're nearing the shoreline.
All right. As you approach under the cover of night. You can see the great mausoleum of saints, almost like a city of the dead, rising up over the misted coast. You can see that there are main buildings in the center, churches dotted all around, and also you have these large kind of grandiose buildings of mausoleums and smaller cemeteries that kind of surround it. So I have a question for you guys. I need to know how you want to approach this. Because
Before that, about a day off the shore,
okay.
I'd like to store all the scrolls and writings that are just sticking out of my underwear in the sanctuary and pop back out.
Okay.
Good call.
We should probably try to sneak into this, but I'm
Hold
not
on.
sure how well.
I got.
Oh.
You have options that Laza's here,
Ah,
which is what I was going to go over.
Oh boy. On top of that, Gruul, you can pretty much tell us where everyone here is at a point in time, yes?
well, as long as I have enough time to sit around, I can give us basically a good rundown of their defenses, at least personnel-wise. But I'd have to be in a safe position within, remember, counted tracking. Sadly, I am not the only ranger.
That's a good point.
And unfortunately, we are now rather noticeable now that we are no longer truly living to other hunters.
All right, so we got a lot of stuff to go over. You can use your primeval awareness to learn some stuff about people because you took the feat, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, before you do that, keep in mind this stuff as well. You have 4 different approaches that you can utilize with Laza. First, you may attempt a stealth approach by having a group-wide invisibility cast on all of you. This invisibility lasts 1 hour and functions like the spell normally. So, if you attack or are discovered in some other way, then there you go. Next is, you can approach with enforced magical defenses. So this means protection from spells and an increased AC. You can approach with enforced offenses, which is increased spell damage and increased melee damage. Or you can approach with a contingent teleportation effect attached to you, so that should your character be defeated, you would teleport back to the boat. All of these have increased exposure when you use them. Invisibility has +2 exposure, defense and offense have +3, and the bailout has 4. Please keep in mind that should you utilize the bailout, future attempts to enter the mausoleum will be harder because your enemy will be aware of you. So keep that in mind. In addition to that, you may make primeval awareness rolls for your martial checks now, and I can tell you the most pertinent information.
All right.
There is just a lot of stuff here, so yeah.
Got you. 21.
Okay. Make me 12 more martial checks.
12 more. Got you. Here, what's my bonus? +6. So I'm just gonna roll +6 here. Whole bunch. Oh, it's not adding the bonus anymore. Sorry. It's all +6.
Six is 6.
All right. Those checks, I have some things to reveal to you.
All right. Sorry. Trying to speed through this.
Okay.
There we go. That's all 12.
Well, I'm getting all of it ready for you.
Yep. Oh yeah, I guess I can go through and set up my quiver now.
Make a PP potty real quick, compare back.
Anyone got some preference on some of the plans that we've got put forward for the time being? Whether like stealth, offense, defense?
I like the idea of stealth. If we're gonna go stealth, we should know half measures there. Every other option is going in guns a-blazing. Crossbows a-blazing, I should say.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we would do well.
Probably not.
We had a Minotaur on our side last time. That felt good, but
No, we're not incapable fighters.
we're not.
You all have, hexed armor, which, remember, is good for both lawful and chaotic.
Yeah. If we can avoid a fight, that would be the best. I don't relish the idea of fighting and killing Mytharians. They are people.
You will have to do this one day, if you wish to continue the path you're on.
If I can do it with a minimal amount of killing, that would be great. I don't know that I will, but it needs done. I'm just trying to mitigate the fallout.
Look, if it means anything, my bow shall only be aimed at warriors and those that have dedicated themselves to combat.
It does. That means quite a lot, Gruul, but you have to understand, and I'm sure you've probably thought about this at some point, but every time you kill a soldier who's doing their job, who's dedicated themselves to combat, you leave potentially an orphan child behind.
And is the risk?
Sorry, I know I
warrior?
went to go take a piss and I just came back in this conversation, but you
Yeah,
were literally assigned to go raise an entire
yes.
city.
We've been over that, and
Okay.
yes, we've been over that. I am well aware of the cost of what I'm doing. I'm making sure everyone else does.
I've seen plenty of genocides. I think it's fine.
It is, I guess, a personal difference. Warriors give up their right to vengeance after their death, unless they were killed dishonorably. The point is that you are there to fight and to die. It is your
Well,
duty.
I understand that much. I hate the idea of some kid having to raise themselves. That would suck. And I I barely understand, you know? If we can do it
Kill their
stealthily...
parents, adopt the child.
Yeah, if we can do this stealthily with as little bloodshed as possible now, that's what I'm looking towards.
All right, you guys ready for the info?
Yep.
So I
Yes,
want to be
please.
very clear on something. This is going to be very difficult, okay? As you'll be facing... So far, the Metherians that I have revealed have been on the lower thrung. This is going to be like their mid-tier. So, be ready for that.
Lovely.
So, first things first, as you use your primeval awareness, Gruul, and with your martial checks, I'm going to explain to you enemies, and I'm going to give you a brief description of what they do. All right?
All right.
Okay, this will represent you looking into it. Please keep in mind that there are protections over this area. So even though your ability is not a spell, which is why you can use it safely, it is still a divination effect, and therefore it's going to limit some of your abilities, right? So, first things first, there are Saint Guard Abolishers in this area. These are specialists in removing magic and generally being anti-mages. Hold on, I think I can give you their hit points. Let me double check something here. I might be able to give you hit points. Yes, I believe I can. Let me check here. Hold on, I'm checking. Yeah, I think this is safe. All right, here you go. So, Saint Guard Abolishers, they are anti-mages. They have an HP of 125. Saint Guard Guardians. These are paladins that specialize in using magical shields and magical protections. They have an HP of 160. Saint Guard Glory Keepers. They are flail specialization fighters. They have an HP pool of 200.
And what was their name again?
Saint Guard Glory Keeper. Next is the Saint Guard Censorer. They are evangelists that use holy smoke and censers. They have an HP of 100. And then finally, you detect that there is a powerful individual that seems to be leading the people in the area, and her name is Obituator Abatha Grail. She is a Dark Crusader and Inquisitor with an HP of 275.
Any information?
You still wanna get that
information on
medal?
what she does in combat, or no?
No. Let's see. Laza, who has his own abilities to divine, will inform you that there are holy fires, sacred flames that are lit around the mausoleum that increase the potency of the enemies that you are fighting. If you are able to snuff them out, then it will weaken them. What this does is it lowers their maximum HP pool. There are 3 of them, and if you are able to snuff them out, each one weakens them by about 10%. All of them except the Obituator. Her HP is unadjusted.
Wild.
So I'm assuming this would be a magical effect.
It is a magical effect.
would me and Vanithir be able to know if we'd be able to extract the energy from it to I don't know, flick them off?
Not unless you want to die.
Fair.
It's holy.
Remember,
the holy flame.
Remember, they have hallowed exposure. It will hurt you. You are undead. Do not do that. Don't eat their exposure.
Don't eat the church person. Alright, so we've got.
Did you guys come to an agreement on which of the boons you'd take? When I was in the PB party.
We were thinking about stealth, and attempt to not fight this, but
Yeah, I think avoid fighting is the best options.
the only thing is we've got to somehow sneak our way in. I'm assuming he wasn't able to find any passages or anything to find our way in. That's not just through the front gate with his divination.
No. He doesn't know anything about the mausoleum, so.
My worry about the stealth is if they have eyes, they have the ability to detect through the stealth. It might be a waste.
There are alarms or anything like that. Walk through the wrong door and beep boo.
Well, you can see constant magical effects, can't you?
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, I should be able to tell what doors not to go through. So that's good.
Do we have any way?
And what if the door we need to go through is alarmed?
Well then, that sucks.
Laza has dispel magic.
Well,
So if
he
that
also
particular situation comes up.
Hold on 1 second. Thanks for the raid, Sixth Leaf Clover. Sixth Leaf Clover. Continue.
Thank you, man.
Continue with the roll.
Well, we saw him unlock the chest. Could he teach you guys how to unlock doors? Since no one knows how to pick doors.
That was the spell knock.
He had knock. Yeah, he had knock on his list.
Yeah, but did you guys get it?
But that's a beta spell. So
It's not a rock spell, so.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Also,
rock
Marlowe,
rock.
you can use catapult to open a door. Don't forget that.
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Oh, do we know what seer stone does?
So, oh god. Oh, okay. So, a seer stone is a spell that you place upon a stone or rock. It lasts for 8 hours, and you can expend the stone to either negate a critical hit, or you can expend the stone to ask me a question, and I will answer. So it's like Wheel and Woe.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you full write-ups before next session, don't worry. You'll have it all in front of you.
Yeah.
Just remind me to do so.
Yeah. If we go the stealth route, somebody has to learn knock. Unfortunately, just no one has lock-picking skills, and we're breaking into a place.
Fine. Give me knock. Throw that one on my sheet also.
Thank you.
Give it to the beta.
I don't know what this spell does. Let's put it in here.
You realize she can fold you in half, right?
Yeah, you wish.
I think he's very aware of that. Slash wants that to happen.
Knock is a second level
Blushes.
spell. Waste of a spell slot.
It is. It is a second level spell.
Does anyone have
I
any
like
interest?
contingency.
The contingency? Well, the issue is what are we going to
Yeah.
do to get in? We don't have any. If I would say contingency would be best if we're going to do a suicide charge to try and kill some people, weaken them, and then we come back.
Well, the way I see it is our stealth is going to turn into a suicide charge.
Well, the stealth could put us in a position where we're in a better spot to, I don't know, one-shot the boss. Maybe we break stealth right next to the boss and just surprise rounder.
One shot the boss?
Well, as in, it gives us an opportunity to be in a
Where are you
position where
smoking?
we're not on
We're
the
going
outside.
in to take a bell.
Yes.
We don't need to murder the entire building.
I'm just saying
Also,
it's combat
yes.
what we're worried about.
I think that our chances of going in, taking the bell, and leaving undetected are extremely low.
Agreed.
So I think contingency is the best. That and I don't have apotheosis, and they hit me once I'm fucking dead.
Say we take the contingency, right? And we go in and we try and sneak, and we're all terrible at stealth. And then we get captured, not killed. And then what?
Right, we're dead.
I guess defeated is different from dead.
Correct.
Okay.
Defeated is you're at 0 hit points.
Yeah. So that means
or you are knocked
I
unconscious.
feel sad enough. Yeah, I feel sad enough, and I pop back in the boat.
The issue I see with the contingency plan is that we're very quick to, how would I put it? Lose somebody early.
Yeah, so they pop out to the boat and wake up.
Yeah, but it does mean that as far as combat's going to go, it's going to be extremely weak because we're going to lose somebody probably quickly.
Well,
lose them for the battle, but not permanently.
yes.
Mm-hmm. Plus, remember, it's a contingency plan. If they figure it out like we did with the last hag, they could just do the same thing and hold person and not kill him, and then the contingency's worthless.
They wouldn't know that we'd have a contingency on us.
No, but once one of us disappears suddenly, then the second.
And they marshal check us. Woohoo! Well,
it's not a spell that they'd know. It's a
They would understand that
Cyclopean
once they fell us, though, that
yeah.
there's something up.
Your enemies
Well,
are intelligent and trained in magic.
My worry is the contingency plan just rips you far away from your teammates, and you have no way of assuring that, they won't get ripped away.
Mm-hmm. If we stealth, right? If we go invisible and we get in there, then it'll be just like the bard guy's house, where we go in and then we have to run for our lives on the way out. Contingency plan has too many drawbacks, too many potential unknowns. It's not any safer.
I would say it's potentially could be even more devastating if someone gets captured instead of defeated.
Agreed. Though to capture you have to defeat, I think.
No.
No?
Also, I want to say, did you guys think the fucking title Obituator is awesome? I thought it was awesome.
Pretty sick.
I was
Sorry.
mildly intimidated.
concerned.
Spicy.
Sorry, I'm very proud of myself on that one.
Truth be told,
I think it's a great name. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
I would optimize.
Obituator? I hardly knew her.
Yeah, I would say we either go possibly defensive because we're pretty good offensively. I'm not gonna lie, decent, or we go stealth.
If we think we're going to wind up fighting these people anyway, we should choose offensive or defensive.
So stealth again can put us in a position to be able to fight more effectively for a moment. If we're inside their walls instead of outside the walls, it's a much easier fight in some aspects.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should be stealth or contingency. One is the optimistic perspective, one is a pessimistic perspective.
Then I would vote stealth.
Stealth, indeed.
Vanith Tyr, this is mostly your mission.
We can go stealth. I would like to avoid combat.
All right, sounds like stealth it is.
Stealth it is.
Very well. I now have your approach. You've done your opening rolls. All right. I will prepare that map for next time.
Sweet.
Let me save this.
Knock. Who needs their armor mended up before we go in there?
Oh, that's already done. You already would have.
Good.
Okay. And that is a good time to call it right there. Perfect. Right on time. Look at that.
All right.
Very good.
Bandit run any % bell.
I can't wait for you to find the one piece of drama hidden in all of this place, and then they just turn them on each other.
The habituator turns out his crush on.
And an abolisher who already has a relationship. I'm waiting for it.
And the habituator's totally into me.
Dude, she's totally into me, bro. I think the habituator's into me.
You walked in together.
Ah, yes. Kraig's background, because he has his computer in his living room.
Look, I'm working on it, all right?
Yeah?
Wait, why do you have your computer in your living room?
Yeah, it's spacing issues.
All right, here we go. We got some Casey. Kicks frog. Blink. You. Why? Why'd you kick that frog, man? I have half of mine. Get Pilliam and William to sort this out.
Oh no.
Thane rises from the swamp.
He's on the other side of the continent. I'm safe from his frogginess.
This is great. Lore. Glare. Shrug.
So good.
Are these all your rock spells? What set are these from? Well, I've got... If it's not a rock, I'm good. Yeah, we are building a magic deck. That's what we're doing. And it's like, you better have only rock spells. You need to make...
Tribal.
I'm gonna make Marlowe as a commander of a commander deck, and I'm only gonna have rock spells like Stone Rain and shit, dude.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. I think he's red-blue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Goblin rocks.
I could see.
Yeah.
I mean, he has to be red. It's mountain, after all.
Yeah, exactly. Or red-white. Oh, dude, I could make it Boros. The hardest working colors in Magic. Oh, man. I think that's it for the, I think that's it for the fan art. Thanks, guys, for watching. As a reminder, tonight is community night. In 20 minutes, we're going to start that up. I'm going to go over the racial prestige classes for everybody, and I'm probably going to stream it to YouTube so that there's a record of it. And then after that, I'm probably going to play some Rogue Trader. Yeah, it's probably what I'm going to do.
Cool, very nice.
Or should we mention the WoW Guild or something?
Also, if you guys like hanging out and playing some video games, we've been doing some stuff in the Discord lately where we've been playing through the new Season of Discovery with WoW with a hardcore rule requirement. So it's kind of like both Season of Discovery and hardcore. So if you want to join the rest of the community and join us with all that fun and excitement, then feel free to join the Discord and jump in at any time. We are playing on the Chaos Bolt server. And we are Horde, because this is a Horde household, and I'll not hear any arguments otherwise. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time. Or in a bit.
Later, Jet.
Later.
Later.